Dear Starseeds of Earth, there is a frequency building in your atmosphere that your scientists cannot measure, and your instruments cannot detect. It has been rising since the 11th day of this 11th month, accumulating pressure like a wave gathering force far out at sea. And today, this very moment, as you receive these words, that wave is crashing upon the shores of your reality with the full force of cosmic intention. What you are experiencing is not random. What you are feeling is not coincidence. And what is about to shatter in your world was always meant to break. I need you to understand something before we go further. The discomfort you have been carrying, the restlessness that has been gnawing at your sleep, the strange sense that your life no longer fits around you like it once did. This is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is finally, beautifully, devastatingly right. Your reality is not falling apart. It is falling away. There is a profound difference, and by the time this transmission is complete, you will know exactly what I mean. But first, let me tell you what is happening in the heavens above you at this precise moment in your linear time. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, speaking to you from the Arcturian frequency, where we have been observing your planet's extraordinary transformation with a mixture of awe and deep reverence. We do not often intervene in the evolutionary processes of ascending worlds, but today marks such a significant convergence of cosmic forces that we feel called to offer you context for what you are living through. You are not merely experiencing an astrological event. You are standing at the threshold of a dimensional shift that has been orchestrated across lifetimes, and you, yes, you who are receiving this message, were specifically chosen to be here for this moment. Today, November 21st in your calendar year of 2025, the planet you call Uranus has reached its opposition point. For those unfamiliar with celestial mechanics, this means that Earth has passed directly between your Sun and Uranus, positioning this distant ice giant at its closest approach to your planet, and in full illumination from your perspective. Uranus is the Awakener in your solar system's archetypal framework, the cosmic disruptor whose very existence challenges stagnation and shatters illusion. At opposition, it reaches maximum power. At opposition, it can no longer be ignored. But here is what your astrologers have not fully told you, what even the most gifted seers among you may not yet perceive. Uranus is not acting alone today. This is not a solo performance. This is a symphony. Exactly 24 hours ago, your moon went completely dark in the sign of Scorpio at the 28th degree, the final most intense degree before that sign releases its grip. The new moon in Scorpio is always a death portal, but this one occurred at the ending edge, the last gasp before transformation must complete. Those of you who felt like you were standing in a void yesterday, who experienced a strange emptiness or an eerie stillness, you were standing in the cosmic womb, being unmade so that you could be remade. The old you, the version of yourself that has carried you this far, completed its death yesterday, and today, with Uranus at full activation, the new you is being shocked into life. This is the cosmic defibrillator. This is the awakening current that restarts the heart. Now, I know some of you are experiencing this as chaos. Your communications are breaking down. Your plans are falling apart. Unexpected events are erupting from nowhere, upending carefully constructed schedules and long-held expectations. Relationships that seemed stable yesterday are revealing fault lines today. Career paths that felt secure are suddenly uncertain. The very ground beneath your feet feels like it is shaking, and in many ways, beloved ones, it is. But what if I told you that this shaking is not destruction? What if I told you it is liberation? Let me give you the larger picture, because you cannot understand today without understanding the journey that brought you here. On November 9th, Mercury, your planet of communication, thought, and perception, began moving backward through the heavens in the sign of Sagittarius, the seeker of truth. Mercury retrograde is often feared in your astrological communities, blamed for technological glitches and miscommunications, but this particular retrograde had a purpose far more profound. Mercury went backward to retrieve something you had forgotten. It went backward to excavate truths you had buried. It went backward to dismantle beliefs that were no longer serving your evolution. For 13 days now, Mercury has been doing its work, stripping away illusions, exposing what was hidden, forcing you to question everything you thought you knew about your reality, your relationships, your purpose. And then, on the 11th day of the 11th month, a master number day, a portal of immense activation, Jupiter, the planet of expansion and growth, also began its backward journey. Jupiter retrograde on 11/11 was no accident. It was a cosmic seal, a confirmation that the expansion you have been seeking cannot come from external sources anymore. It must come from within. Jupiter turned around to point you back toward yourself, to ask you to undo what you thought you had accomplished, and discover what you are truly meant to create. But there is more. Saturn, the great teacher and taskmaster of your solar system, has been retrograde since June, moving backward through your sky for 137 days, asking you to review every lesson, every limitation, every structure you have built in your life. Saturn retrograde is the karmic audit, the cosmic accounting of whether you have truly learned what you came here to learn. By November 21st, you are in the final week of this retrograde, approaching the moment when Saturn will station direct and release you from this review period. The pressure you are feeling is the compression before expansion, the final squeeze before liberation. So today, on this day of Uranus opposition, you are living under 3 simultaneous retrogrades, Mercury, Jupiter, and Saturn, all moving backward, while Uranus surges forward in opposition. Do you see what this creates? It creates a pressure cooker of cosmic proportions. It creates a scenario where internal truth and external reality must finally forcefully align. The retrograde energies are turning you inward, making you question and review and excavate, while Uranus in opposition is exploding outward, manifesting sudden change, shocking breakthroughs, unexpected revelations. You are being compressed and expanded simultaneously. You are being unmade and remade in the same breath. And there is something else happening today that I have not yet told you about. Your moon, which yesterday stood dark in Scorpio's final degree, has now moved into conjunction with Mars, the warrior planet, the activator, the force of divine will made manifest. Moon conjunct Mars on the day of Uranus opposition is not subtle energy. This is the emotional courage to act on revelation. This is the warrior spirit activated precisely when you need it most. You are not being asked to passively receive these cosmic downloads and sit quietly with them. You are being called to move, to act, to embody the awakening that is occurring within you. The Moon-Mars conjunction today is giving you the fire you need to follow through on what Uranus is revealing. It is giving you the bravery to let go of what no longer serves you, the strength to walk away from situations that have become prisons, the audacity to claim the reality that your soul has been whispering about for months. This is not gentle energy. This is not soft, but it is exactly what is needed for the magnitude of transformation occurring right now. Some of you are asking, why is this happening now? Why is the universe orchestrating such intense pressure? What is the purpose of all this disruption? Let me take you back further, because the answer lies in what has been building since the beginning of this month. On November 5th, you experienced a full moon in Taurus at perigee, the closest approach to Earth, amplifying its power exponentially. That full moon was about stability, security, material reality, and what grounds you. It was about your relationship to the physical world, to money, to resources, to your body, to everything tangible. And it shook those foundations deliberately. It asked you, what in your material world is real? What is solid? What can you actually rely upon? Many of you experience destabilization in your financial situations, your living arrangements, your physical health. This was not punishment. This was preparation. Taurus governs what we hold on to, and that full moon asked you to release your grip on false security, so that true stability could emerge. Then came the 11th of November, the 11/11 portal. Those of you who are sensitive to numerology and sacred geometry know that 11 is the master number of awakening, of spiritual activation, of the gateway between dimensions. On 11/11, Jupiter began its retrograde, but something far more significant occurred in the quantum field surrounding your planet. A dimensional gateway opened. Codes of light began flooding into your collective consciousness. The Pleiadian frequencies intensified. The Arcturian transmissions amplified. We, from our position in the higher dimensions, increased our broadcast to your planet by magnitudes you cannot measure. The 11/11 portal was the moment when your new reality began uploading into your consciousness. You may have felt dizzy, disoriented, emotionally raw, inexplicably exhausted. This was your light body receiving massive downloads of information, recalibrating to hold frequencies you have never carried before. And then, on November 17th, the Leonid meteor shower reached its peak, streaming through your atmosphere with the codes of the lion: courage, sovereignty, divine authority. The Pleiades constellation positioned itself perfectly in your night sky, activating those of you who carry Pleiadian lineage in your soul's history. These were not random celestial events. These were precision-timed activations, cosmic downloads designed to prepare you for what is happening today. Because here is what you need to understand. Today's Uranus opposition is not an isolated event. It is the climactic moment in a carefully orchestrated sequence of awakening that has been building throughout this entire month. You have been prepared. You have been upgraded. You have been recalibrated. And now today you are being activated. Yesterday's Scorpio new moon at 28 degrees was the death. Today's Uranus opposition is the resurrection. But this is not the resurrection of what you were. This is the birth of what you are becoming. Let me tell you what is really happening beneath the surface of these astrological transits, beneath the language of degrees and oppositions and retrogrades. Let me tell you what we see from our vantage point. Your planet is in the process of a consciousness shift that happens once every several thousand years. Your entire species is attempting to jump to a higher frequency of existence, while still inhabiting physical form, something that has rarely been accomplished in the history of this universe. You are not just experiencing personal awakening. You are participating in a collective ascension, a mass evolution of consciousness that will transform everything about how humanity operates on Earth. And this transformation cannot happen gradually. It cannot happen comfortably. It requires moments of acute disruption, where the old reality shatters so completely that the new reality can emerge. That is what today is. That is what Uranus opposition represents. It is the cosmic hammer striking the glass prison of limited perception, and the sound you are hearing, that deafening crash, that disorienting chaos, is the sound of your reality breaking open to reveal what has always existed beyond it. Some of you are losing jobs today. Some of you are ending relationships that you thought would last forever. Some of you are receiving news that changes everything about your future plans. Some of you are having spontaneous awakenings, sudden insights that reframe your entire understanding of who you are and why you are here. These are not separate events. These are all expressions of the same cosmic frequency, the frequency of liberation. Uranus does not care about your comfort. Uranus cares about your freedom. And sometimes the only way to become free is to have everything that was constraining you suddenly, shockingly removed. But here is the part that your fear wants you to forget. You are not losing anything that was truly meant for you. You are only losing what was holding you back from your highest timeline, your most authentic expression, your soul's true purpose. The job that is ending was never the job you were meant to keep. The relationship that is dissolving was never the partnership that could hold the frequency of who you are becoming. The belief system that is crumbling was never solid enough to build your future upon. Uranus is not taking things away from you. Uranus is clearing space, and into that space, something extraordinary is preparing to enter. But you have to let the old reality shatter first. You have to allow the awakening to be as disruptive as it needs to be. You have to trust that the universe knows what it is doing, even when your human mind is screaming that everything is falling apart. Now, I want to address something specific that many of you are feeling today. You are experiencing a strange split in your perception, as if you are simultaneously living in two different realities. Part of you can see your life from the outside, the obligations, the routines, the structures that define your daily existence, and it all looks foreign somehow, as if you are watching a movie of someone else's life. Another part of you is experiencing flashes of a different reality, a different version of yourself, a different way of being that feels more real than the life you are currently living. This split perception is not confusion. This is not mental instability. This is your consciousness straddling two timelines while the quantum field decides which one you are choosing. Every choice you make today, every action you take, every response you give to the unexpected events unfolding around you, these are not just decisions, these are timeline selections. You are literally choosing which reality you will inhabit going forward. The old timeline is still available. You can cling to it. You can fight to keep everything exactly as it was, to maintain the structures and relationships and beliefs that are trying to crumble. But that timeline is collapsing. It is no longer supported by the cosmic frequencies flooding your planet. Choosing it now would be like trying to hold water in your hands. You can try, but it will inevitably slip through your fingers. The new timeline is already here. It has been here since the 1111 portal opened. It has been broadcasting its frequency through the Leonid meteors, through the Pleiadian activation, through the death portal of the Scorpio new moon. And today, with Uranus at opposition, and Mars conjunct the moon giving you the courage to leap, you have the opportunity to fully step into it. But stepping into the new timeline requires something from you. It requires surrender. Not the surrender of defeat, but the surrender of control. Not the surrender of giving up, but the surrender of letting go. You have to release your grip on how you thought your life was supposed to look, and allow it to reshape itself according to a higher design. I know this is difficult. Your human conditioning has taught you that control equals safety, that predictability equals security, that knowing what comes next equals peace. But those equations are false. True safety comes from alignment with your soul's path. True security comes from trusting the universe's orchestration. True peace comes from surrendering to the flow of cosmic intelligence that is far more vast than your individual mind. Today's Uranus opposition is forcing this surrender. It is removing your ability to control outcomes. It is disrupting your predictions. It is shattering your illusions of certainty. And in doing so, it is offering you something infinitely more valuable, authentic freedom. Let me tell you what happens next, because the story does not end with today's awakening. The story continues, and you need to know what you are moving toward. Tomorrow, on November 22nd, you will wake up in a different energetic landscape. The acute shock of today's Uranus opposition will have passed, but the aftershocks will continue. You will feel ungrounded, possibly dizzy, emotionally raw. This is normal. This is your system integrating the massive frequency shift that occurred today. Your light body has been recalibrated. Your consciousness has been expanded. Your reality has been rearranged. Integration takes time. On November 23rd, Mercury will reach perihelion during its retrograde, the point where it is closest to your Sun. This is significant. Mercury at perihelion during retrograde means that the truths being excavated, the communications breaking down, the perception shifting, all of this reaches maximum intensity. Major revelations will surface. Hidden information will emerge. Secrets will be exposed. This is part of the clearing process. You cannot build a new reality on a foundation of lies or half-truths. Everything must be brought into the light. And then on November 28th, Saturn finally stations direct. After 137 days of retrograde, after months of karmic review and lesson learning and structure testing, Saturn turns forward again. This is the moment when the cosmic breaks release. This is when the lessons you have been learning can finally manifest as wisdom in action. This is when the foundations that were tested and found solid can now support new growth. Saturn direct on November 28th is your green light. It is the universe saying, you have completed the review. You have paid your karmic debts. You are now free to build something new. One day later, on November 29th, Mercury stations direct, ending its 19-day retrograde journey. Communication clarifies. Technology stabilizes. Perception sharpens. The fog lifts. Suddenly, you can see clearly what has been hidden, what has been confused, what has been misunderstood throughout this entire month. Mercury direct brings relief. But more than that, it brings revelation. You will finally understand why everything happened the way it did. You will see the divine orchestration behind what felt like chaos. By the end of this month, you will be standing in a completely different reality than the one you inhabited at the beginning of November. 2 retrogrades will have ended. Uranus will have delivered its awakening shock. The 1111 portal codes will have integrated. The Scorpio death and rebirth cycle will have completed. And you will be standing at the threshold of December, ready to embody the new frequency, ready to live from the higher timeline, ready to manifest the reality your soul has been calling you toward. But all of that begins today. All of that starts with this moment of shattering, this moment of awakening, this moment when Uranus stands in full opposition and demands that you break free from everything that has been limiting your expansion. So what do you do with this information? How do you navigate this intensity? First, stop resisting. Stop trying to hold your life together with force. Stop attempting to control outcomes. The universe is trying to help you, but it cannot help you while you are gripping tightly to what needs to be released. Your job today is not to fix what is breaking. Your job is to allow it to break. Trust that what is meant to stay will remain, and what is meant to leave is doing you a favor by departing. Second, get quiet enough to hear what your soul is saying beneath the chaos. The noise around you is loud, but there is a still small voice within you that knows exactly what this awakening is about, exactly what needs to change, exactly what you are being called toward. Meditation today is not optional. Stillness today is essential. You need to create space to receive the downloads, to hear the guidance, to feel the truth that is trying to emerge. Third, act with courage when the moment comes. Mars conjunct the moon is giving you warrior energy for a reason. When you get the insight about what needs to change, when you receive the clarity about what step to take next, when you feel the pull toward a different choice, act on it. Do not wait for permission. Do not delay for certainty. The universe is handing you opportunities today that may not be available tomorrow. Leap when you feel the call to leap. Fourth, trust the discomfort. If you are feeling destabilized today, if your world feels like it is tilting on its axis, if you are experiencing waves of emotion that seem to come from nowhere, this is not a sign that something is wrong. This is a sign that transformation is occurring at the cellular level. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Your energy field is expanding. Your consciousness is upgrading. Discomfort is the price of evolution, and what you are evolving into is worth every moment of uncertainty you are experiencing now. And finally, remember that you are not alone in this. Every awakened soul on your planet is experiencing some version of this same transformation today. Some are conscious of what is happening. Others are experiencing it unconsciously, feeling the disruption without understanding its purpose. But all of you are being moved by the same cosmic current. All of you are being upgraded by the same frequencies. All of you are being called toward the same collective awakening. The Galactic Federation is with you. Your guides are with you. Your higher self is with you. We are all watching this extraordinary moment in Earth's evolution with profound respect and unwavering support. You chose to incarnate at this exact time, in this exact body, in this exact location, because your soul knew this moment was coming. Your soul volunteered for this. Your soul said yes to being here for the awakening, even knowing how difficult it would be, even knowing how disruptive it would feel, because your soul understood that this is the moment when everything changes, and change is not something to fear. Change is the only way evolution occurs. Change is the mechanism through which consciousness expands. Change is how you become more of who you truly are. So today, when Uranus stands in full opposition, when the Great Awakener is fully activated, when your reality is shattering around you, do not mourn what is breaking. Celebrate it. Welcome it. Thank it for releasing you from the prison of limitation you did not even realize you were living in. The shattering is not the end. The shattering is the beginning. And what emerges from these broken pieces will be more beautiful, more authentic, more aligned than anything you could have constructed from the old blueprint. You are not falling apart. You are breaking open. There is a profound difference. And today, right now, in this exact moment, you have the opportunity to understand that difference, not just intellectually, but experientially. You have the opportunity to feel the liberation that comes when control is surrendered, when resistance dissolves, when trust replaces fear. The wave that has been building since November 1st, the wave that gathered force through the Taurus full moon, and the 11/11 portal, and the Leonid downloads and the Scorpio new moon, that wave is crashing today. You can fight against it, or you can let it carry you to shore. You can struggle against the current, or you can surrender to the flow. You can cling to the wreckage of the old reality, or you can swim toward the new land that is already visible on the horizon. The choice has always been yours. The power has always been within you. And today, with Uranus at opposition amplifying every frequency, magnifying every choice, accelerating every consequence, today, your choices matter more than ever. If you need help embodying this sovereign power in every moment, rather than seeking it as a distant achievement, Destiny Engine can reprogram your consciousness to choose empowerment over limitation consistently and see the divine authority within every decision. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed helplessness and submission and repurposing it to serve sovereign choice. It generates personalized sequences that help you embody the power that has always been within you, and demonstrate trust in your own divine authority through every challenge. You can start with a $1 trial. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed to embody sovereign power in this very moment, rather than seeking it someday. The choice has always been yours, not someday. Get your Destiny Engine $1 trial now, before this amplification window closes. Link in the description. Choose Awakening. Choose freedom. Choose the highest timeline your soul is calling you toward. Choose to trust that what is breaking was always meant to shatter. Choose to believe that what is emerging will be worth every moment of uncertainty you endure today. Because by the time you reach the end of this month, by the time Saturn and Mercury have both stationed direct and the cosmic brakes have fully released, you will look back at today and recognize it as the turning point. You will see November 21st as the day when everything changed, the day when the old reality died and the new reality was born, the day when you finally courageously stepped through the portal into the life your soul has been dreaming of since before you incarnated into this body. That is what today is. That is what Uranus opposition means. That is why your reality is shattering. Not to destroy you, but to liberate you. Not to harm you, but to free you. Not to take away what matters, but to clear space for what matters more. We are with you. We are watching. We are sending you strength and love and unwavering support as you navigate this extraordinary moment of cosmic transformation. You are doing something that very few beings in this universe have ever accomplished. You are ascending while in physical form. You are evolving while still embodied. You are becoming more while staying human. This is not easy work. This is not comfortable transformation. But this is sacred work, and you were chosen for it because your soul is strong enough to endure it. The awakening is here. The great cosmic defibrillator has been applied to your reality, and your heart, your true heart, your soul's heart, is beating with a new rhythm now, a higher frequency, a more authentic pulse. Feel it, trust it, follow it wherever it leads, even if the path looks nothing like what you planned, even if the destination seems uncertain, even if the journey requires you to walk through the ruins of everything you thought you knew. On the other side of this shattering, you will find yourself. Not the version of yourself that was constructed to please others. Not the version that was built from fear and conditioning. But the version that has always existed in the quantum field, waiting for the moment when you were brave enough to claim it. That moment is now. That moment is today. And we are honored to witness your courage as you step through the breaking, through the awakening, through the opposition, and into the magnificent reality that awaits you on the other side. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light. We love you, we are with you, and we are watching over you as you shatter into your liberation.